Hi Queenies and Poochies, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be about reading because I'm a reader. I've picked up a new hobby. For those of you who do not know me, a bit of a backstory about myself. I did not like reading growing up, like at all. I don't want to be like self-diagnosing or anything, but I don't know if I was officially diagnosed or anything, but in elementary school, the school diagnosed me with dyslexia. I was not diagnosed by a doctor. I don't know, okay? They just tested me and they're like, girl, you have dyslexia. And I'm like, whoa, that's kind of crazy. What's even crazier is that I was never given accommodations. So I did not grow up being a strong reader. And because of that, I did not like reading at all. And on top of that, the teachers were just not encouraging at all. I think I remember I had this one teacher who was genuinely pissed at me for not being motivated in reading, and I'm just like, girl, I don't know. It was just really weird because she was just like, why don't you read? Why aren't you reading enough? And I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just not. And then she's just like, are you reading at home? You're supposed to be reading it. Girl, calm the fuck down. I was what, 8? And the same teacher that got me, we had reading logs. I never did the reading logs, but one night I was like, I'm going to do a reading log. So I decided to pick up a book. I had, not really a book. Well, it is a book, but it was a collection of fairy tales. I was in 3rd grade, right? It was a collection book of fairy tales. And one of the fairy tales were The Gingerbread Man. And I was like, I'm gonna read The Gingerbread Man tonight. Okay. And so I read it, right? By the way, this is the same teacher who got mad at me for not being motivated to read. So on the reading log, I did The Gingerbread Man. I don't know. This teacher was like, you shouldn't be reading those kinds of books. They're not on your reading level. Oh, God. Are you for real? Okay, I get it. You want me to read at a 3rd grade level, but it was a 2nd grade level book. I was trying. I hadn't read in ages, and I finally decided to read, and I enjoyed it. And then you knocked me the fuck down. You were like, that's not on your reading level, so I'm not gonna count this as a grade. It's okay. It's whatever. I never saw her after that year ever fucking again. That's fine. I don't know. She kind of just pissed me off because it's you got mad at me for not being motivated to read, and when I'm motivated to read and I actually do my reading log, you're just wrong. I'm not even gonna grade you for that. You were really an ass for that. You were really an ass for that, honestly. And then ever since then, I was like, I don't even feel like reading. Oh, but then I discovered the wonderful app Wattpad. Now that brought reading to me. That's why I can read averagely. That's what brought my reading level up. But let me tell you something about Wattpad was just more interesting than the books they would recommend us to read. I did not care for many of the books that they would recommend us to read. I can't even tell you what they were because I forgot, and I don't even care. And also, Wattpad, it was fandoms and stuff, things you're actually interested in. I was very much into pop culture, so I wrote. I didn't want to say that out loud. I didn't want to reveal that, but I did write some stuff. But I'll tell you what my first fanfic was. My first fanfiction was MagCon fighting over Ariana Grande. I was not into MagCon at all. My friends were into MagCon. And so because I wanted to be in with the crowd, I wanted to be in with the girls. I was like, I like MagCon. I also pretended to like One Direction. I did not like One Direction. I did like some of their songs, but I didn't really get into them. I did read some 1D fan fictions, but not on Wattpad, on Quotive. That is an old one. That is an old site. It was interesting. I did like to write my own original stories as well. And things like that, but all of those are gone. So I think in high school I completely stopped reading, in general, because in high school I was quite mentally ill, but we're not gonna get into that, not today. And yes, that includes Wattpad. I don't read fan fictions anymore, okay? So don't get on me about that. Even if you do read fan fictions now, I don't think that's like something to be embarrassed about. You know what I mean? It's reading. You're reading something. I think it's only embarrassing if it's something that's like, that's really weird. Like, you know what I mean. I'm not going to get into all of that. So yeah, I stopped reading, but it wasn't until one fateful October. If you know me, you know that I fucking love fall. I love Halloween. Autumn is like my season, my favorite season of all time. I'm envious of the people who were born in autumn because first of all, I wish I was born in autumn. I wish I was a Libra. But fall 2023 was so boring for me. And I think that's because that year we moved out of our house and we didn't have any money. So I couldn't do anything. We went to like a little haunted house thing, which was fun, by the way. Went with my cousins. That was fun. Not Halloween Horror Nights. Not Halloween. First of all, that too. Halloween Horror Nights has been like really stupid lately. So it's like I'm not even interested. Stupid and expensive. Like I'm not. No. I was just so bored out of my mind, and I was rummaging through my brother's bookshelf. Not really bookshelf. He didn't have a bookshelf at the time, but my brother started getting into reading and he had a few books, and one of the books intrigued me because it was I was like, I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to show you it. It's Dracula. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, what better way to lift up my Halloween spirit than to read a book about a fucking vampire, bro? Like the vampire, dude." First of all, this is a crazy book to jump into when you haven't read in a long time because it's written in Old English. And Old English was something that I slipped on a lot. I loved it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. First of all, if any of you judgmental book talk bitches are watching this, I need you to click the fuck off because I'm not here for y'all to be like, "Oh my god, she's reading that, she liked that." I truly don't give a fuck. I'm not one of those people who watches reviews and is like, "Oh, they didn't like that book, I'm not gonna like it." I don't care. Okay? I am easily influenced, okay? I will be like, "Okay, yeah, that is an issue in the book." But I'm never gonna change my opinion just because somebody else had a different opinion from my original thought. No, I like the book, okay? My favorite characters died, first of all, so that wasn't really something that I like, but you know, I still like the book. I didn't like those aspects, but I did like the book. But yeah, this brought me back into reading, but after I read this, I didn't really know exactly what to do, because I didn't have, like, money to get another book, and I wasn't really interested in the other stuff that my brother had. Like, I didn't care about Lord of the Hobbits or whatever the fuck it's called. Like, y'all might get on my ass for that because I do like fantasy, and that is a whole fantasy thing. So I'll give it a shot, just not now. So yeah, I read this, and I think I liked it a lot because it was like, it wasn't like a book. Well, it was like a book, but it's like more like diary entries, journal entries. And on top of that, while I was reading this, I read it in a British accent. I gave them accents, of course, because they are in England. My next book that I started reading, I don't have it physically. I have it on Kindle because my sister had a Kindle and she gave it to me because I was talking about how I wanted to get more into reading, and she's like, have my Kindle because I'm not going to use it. So she gave me her Kindle. And I started reading the Percy Jackson books because there is a Percy Jackson show. So I saw that there was a show going on. I'm like, I kind of want to read the book now because growing up, Percy Jackson was like a big thing. But yeah, I got Percy Jackson, I got How to Train Your Dragon, and I got them on Kindle, and I read both of the first books, like, in Godspeed because, what can I say? By the way, How to Train Your Dragon has books. I knew that. I've been knew that. I just, like, I didn't know if anybody else knew that because not everybody knows that. They had books, okay? It's, like, 12 books. Crazy. I've always wanted to read them when I was little, but like I said, I never had the motivation to actually get into, like, reading, like, actual books. So I was, like, I never read them, and I'm starting to read them now. So the other day, I went to Barnes & Noble. Leave me alone, leave me alone, leave me alone. I told my friends I went to Barnes & Noble and I got a couple books, and they flipped the fuck out. They're like, Lynn, what? And literally my friend was like, I literally know a site where you can get all that for cheap. Like, bitch, why didn't you tell me that before? But it's not relevant anymore. It's fine. Anyways, I went to Barnes and Noble. Okay, I'm not gonna tell you how much it costs because no. I'm gonna show you guys the books that I got. Okay. So this first one is called The House on Mango Street. I was trying to look up Spanish books, like books in Spanish, because I am Hispanic. I speak Spanish, but it's not good Spanish. It's Americanized. Oh, leave me alone. No, like actually leave me, like don't start. I was trying to look for more like more Latino books and stuff, and this was one of them. I originally wanted it in Spanish, but I could not find it in Spanish, so I had to settle for the English version of it. It's cute so far. I started it today, and I'm already on page 40. It's a very short book. The chapters are very short, but I think it's cute. It's like, the author is named Sandra Cisneros. And she's a Mexican American who grew up in Chicago, and she's kind of just like talking about like the little thing, like stories here and there that happen on Mango Street. I'm not done with it yet, so I can't tell you how it ends, but I do think it's a cute book and I love it a lot. And I am reading it right about now. This next book, I want y'all to know, I'm not that type of person. Like, don't even when I was on Wattpad, I did not like reading smut. Smut was like not my thing. I pretended that I did because like everybody else was, but I didn't really like reading smut. This book, I've heard of it before. I've heard that it is good. I heard that this book series is good. A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I heard that it was good. So I was like, in my mind, I was like, oh, okay. I saw it in Barnes and Noble. Me and my sister were eyeing it. We were just like, And I asked my sister, should I get it? And she's like, do whatever you want. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I'll do whatever I want. So I got it. I did know of this month beforehand, but I did not, I don't know, I thought it was, and see, my mindset is like, it's just a little part. I don't know how smutty it is, okay? I don't know. I haven't really done expensive. I haven't really done extensive research on it, so I don't know how bad it gets, okay? So I got this book, and I go into my group chat, I tell my friends, not excitedly, because I was like, I got this book. And they're like, Lynn, that's literally porn. Don't say that to me. Don't. I just spent $20. Lynn, that's porn. That's basically porn. That's what scared me, okay? Because I'm like, what? And I trust my friend. He is a reader. He's so good at literature. So I trust him. I trust what he says. And I'm gonna tell you something else. I was warned beforehand too, but we're gonna get into that later because I wanted to show you the other book. So yeah, we have this. What am I gonna do? I could refund it, but I feel like I should read it. Even though it has that element that I just do not like, I feel like I should read it. And if I don't like it, then I don't like it. Because I bought it already. I don't feel like going all the way back and doing the whole refund process. Like, it's really not that big of a deal to me. I can cope. I'll cope, okay? I'll cope. If I could cope with Wattpad, I can cope with this. It'll be fine. This book I'm actually excited to read. I don't know if y'all are gonna be like, oh girl, what? Because like y'all are so judgmental. But anyways, Dune is a book. Dune is a book? Dune is a book. I have not seen the movies, so it's perfect that I got the book. Look at this cover art, dude. Oh my god. Like, what? Let me tell you what I was gonna tell you about my cashier interaction, okay? I'm very slow. Okay, I'm a very slow gal, alright? My brain processing is just not like, it's gonna take me a minute, okay? If you're gonna give me a joke, you need to give me a second to get it, because I don't know. So I go up to the cashier, okay? I pass them the books. They look at Dune, they're like, this book has a lot of spice in it. And I'm just like, oh really? And I didn't realize this until after. She obviously says it's a joke. But I didn't realize this until after, but I thought when she said that this book has spice, I thought she meant like the food, like the seasonings, like the condiments, the seasonings. I'm just like, "Oh, is that like part of the, like in my mind I'm like, "Oh, is like food part of the is food part of the plot? Like, is that what Dune is about? Like, is it about spices?" That's what was going on in my mind. Then she was like, "Oh, it's a joke," and I was like, I was really awkward about it. I was like, "Oh, okay," because I don't know. And then we got to this one. She gets to this one to check it out, and she's like, "Oh, but this book really has spice." My response, because like I said beforehand, I knew that it did. I knew it had some smut in there, okay? I knew it did. So my response was, oh yeah, I've heard. But like I feel like I said it too excitedly. So I feel like she thinks I'm not into that. I'm not. Okay? But I said it a bit too excitedly, making it seem like that is the reason I'm getting this. It's not. Okay, I'm a fan. I like fantasy. Okay, I'm in. Girl, I thought this was, I thought this was a dragon when I saw it. I'm in a fantasy. Okay, I'm into fantasy stuff. Okay, I'm into the whole witches. I'm into the whole dragons. I'm into the whole fantasy. I didn't know. I know it has that in it, but that's not why I got it. I don't know why I responded like that. But then, yeah, I was like, oh, yeah, I heard. Yeah. It's fine. It's whatever. It's fine. It's whatever. She doesn't know you. She's not going to remember you. Who even cares? She sees like a million people every day. She's not going to remember you. It's okay. It's fine. But yeah. And I didn't realize in the car. I didn't realize on the ride home. I didn't realize when I went to bed. I didn't realize it that entire day. I realized it this morning when I was thinking about that interaction, because you're not Lynn if you're not overthinking every single interaction that you have in your entire life, okay? So I was thinking about that interaction, and I was thinking about how ashamed I was. Oh my god, actually, literally, when I went into the car, like, after we left the Barnes & Noble, when I went into the car to my sister, I'm like, I feel really bad for not laughing at her joke. And I was literally like, I literally feel like going back in and just being like, your joke was actually funny. Like, I'm sorry. Like, that's how bad it is for me, okay? I overthink everything. But I was thinking about it today. This morning, I'm like, wait a minute. Spice. The spice in here equals smut. And I was like, because I was trying to get the joke. I was like, girl, like, this spice seasonings, how does that equate to this kind of spice? And I'm just like, oh, she made a joke. She was making a joke. The joke was that there's smut in Dune, but there's not. Nobody's talking about seasonings. No one's talking about spices. Because I was just like, I was looking at the cover too, and I'm like, what kind of spice? Like, Cajun? Cayenne? Like, what? She was talking about the sex. Bro, I'm actually excited to read this, okay? I'm looking forward to it. This, I'll give it a minute. Okay, I'll give it a chance, but I'm not gonna say that I'm excited to read it, okay? Alright. This one I'm excited. This one I'm so excited. I'm excited to read this one. I'm excited to read this. I have not seen the show. I've not seen the show, and I'm not going to see the show until I finish this book. Okay? It's in Spanish because like I said, I'm trying to practice my Spanish. So it's in Spanish. Siempre el mismo día. One Day on Netflix, by the way. One Day on Netflix. I saw the trailer to One Day, and I loved it. I was like, I'm not really a romance gal, but I thought it was so cute. I was like, ooh, I really want to watch that. But I have yet to watch it. I read a little bit already. I was like, it's cute, okay? It's cute in the beginning, okay? I've only read a few pages, like 3 pages, okay? Because why not? I'm waiting to finish The House on Mango Street, and then I'll read this. But I was just a little too excited, so I read like 3 pages of it. This is what I mean. Like, I'm not into the hardcore smut stuff. I'm into the little realistic, the reality of love, the reality of romance, the little passion, the little, I don't know, like little simple things in life. All right, I'm into the little simple things in life. We are at the last book, which is also in Spanish, The Fourth Wing. Alas de sangre. Sangre. Alas de sangre. Okay, so when I saw it first, it was in English, and it was a hardcover, and it cost $30. I was like, no. But then when I was going through the Spanish section, I saw the last copy in Spanish, because I went back again, and this was gone. Like, it was completely gone from the Spanish section. I got the last copy of the Spanish version of Fourth Wing, and for cheap, $22 at that, $8 less. And as you see here, these are annotations. Blue means translations and definitions, and yellow are a commentary. There's no right way to annotate. Like, you can do it however the hell you want. Literally, it could be like LOL, literally. And you know what, you book talk whores can say whatever you want. You can judge me, I don't even care. Do I like this book? I know that it's very Wattpad. My friend Harry is not very fond of this book. Because it's quite Wattpad, and I'm starting to see it, and I'm starting to sense a love triangle, and that is my least favorite trope of all time. So, but I'm gonna finish it because I already started it, and I'm gonna finish it, okay? But also, it has dragons in it. I love dragons, okay? I think they're cool. I don't know much about them, but I like it when a fantasy world has them. And yeah, those are all the books I have. Those are all the books I bought. So yeah, I'm kind of excited to read them. I'm very excited for this new hobby of mine. I hope to continue reading, and I'm going to read all these books, and hopefully I can make a video talking about these books and talking about what I think, which ones were my favorite, and if I would recommend them to you. And yeah, so that's my video for today. Thank you guys for watching, and bye.